I've seen a lot of people dive into the DTF world with the cheapest machines they can find, only to end up with clogged heads, endless downtime, and a stack of half-finished prints that never look right. It's that gut-wrenching regret that makes you wonder if you should have waited for a more solid option. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So the question I keep hearing is, does the MZK A3 Pro actually feel like a smarter buy, or is it just another fancy promise wrapped in a sleek case? When I first started researching DTF printers, the biggest red flag was how many entry-level models promise high speed, but then need daily manual cleaning, or they ship without any ink plan at all. That means you're constantly budgeting for replacement cartridges and spending hours troubleshooting a printer that should be a set-and-forget tool. The MZK A3 Pro tries to solve that by bundling 2 years of free ink and powder, which, on paper, sounds like a huge cost saver. In practice, that translates to about 500 milliliters of each ink color you can actually use before you have to think about buying more. For a small to medium apparel shop that prints a few hundred shirts a month, that bulk supply can shave a few $100s off the operating budget right away. Setting the machine up is surprisingly straightforward if you've ever assembled a desktop PC. You pull the printer out of the box, slide the pre-cut DTF film onto the feed rollers, connect the small oven unit, and power it up. The 5-inch LED touchscreen walks you through film loading, ink level checks, and a quick test print. The real-time ink monitoring system shows you exactly how much of each color is left, so you never get that nasty, out-of-ink surprise halfway through a batch. The software, which runs on a Windows-based PC, is lightweight and free of the ads that plague many low-cost alternatives. I was able to start a print run within 15 minutes of unboxing, which is a big win for anyone who isn't a full-time tech wizard. Now, let's talk about daily usability. I ran a test printing a set of 30 t-shirts with a full-color logo. The machine's upgraded F1080 printhead kept the lines crisp, and the built-in anti-clog mode kicked in automatically every few hours, flushing a tiny amount of ink through the nozzles. That means you don't have to schedule a manual cleaning cycle every night, which is a relief if you're running the printer in a cramped studio that's also your living room. The automatic holiday mode is handy for those occasional weekends when you're away. The printer will pause, keep the head warm, and resume when you get back, without the risk of the ink drying out. The oven is where the magic happens. It's a compact, heated chamber that cures the powder after the film is transferred onto the shirt. I noticed the temperature stabilizes within a minute, and the curing time for a standard 30-second pass is enough to lock the design in place. The result was a vibrant, wash-resistant print that survived 10 rounds of machine washing without cracking or fading. That durability is the kind of practical proof you need before you decide to invest in a DTF workflow. But no machine is perfect. The first practical weakness I ran into was the size of the film roll. The printer accepts rolls up to 33 centimeters wide, which is fine for most standard T sizes. But if you want to go wider for oversized apparel or fabric panels, you'll need to splice the film yourself or buy a different model. Also, the 2-year free ink promotion starts in 2025, so if you purchase now, you'll have to wait a year before you can actually tap into the free supply. In the meantime, you're still buying the starter bottles that come in the box. That isn't a deal breaker, but it's something to factor into your cash flow calculations. Another subtle trade-off is the learning curve around the software's color management. The bundled DTF software does a decent job of converting a PNG or PSD file into the right CMYK profile, but if you're used to Photoshop's deeper color controls, you'll need to spend a few minutes tweaking the settings for the best match. It's not a fatal flaw, just an extra step that a true beginner might overlook and end up with a slightly dull print. Once you lock in the right profile, though, the consistency is impressive. Who should buy the MZK A3 Pro? If you run a boutique apparel brand, a local screen printing shop looking to add DTF as a secondary offering, or you're a hobbyist who wants to move from small stickers to full-size garments without breaking the bank, this printer hits the sweet spot. The bundled ink, the anti-clog system, and the relatively quick setup make it a low-maintenance option for people who can't afford a full-time technician. It also scales nicely. You can start with a few dozen shirts a week and grow into a few hundred without needing to upgrade the hardware. Who should skip it? If you're